One.
Shirts. Welcome to your place for news, sports, entertainment, Fire Optics podcast. Back for another one. Day after the doo-doo Super Bowl. All kinds of other stuff going on this week. But first, let's introduce each other. How we doing, gentlemen? I'm Kensei. Over here, we got James.
What's going on, family? Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave your comments. We truly appreciate all the viewers that we got.
Daniel.
What's up, everybody? I hope y'all enjoyed the Super Bowl.
Hey. What's up, Rishi? How you feeling, bro?
Good, man. How are you guys doing?
Yeah. It was a pretty good weekend for me. Carolina whipped up on that Duke butt, smack them around. But you know,
I don't even watch some teams no more.
That's a lie. That's what we call a cap. Like every time he says that, someone will go like this.
ACC game.
No, you can't wait till your team loses and then say, I don't care.
I said that from the beginning. I said from the beginning of the podcast. I said I hope them brothers go to HBCU. I said I'm done watching Duke and Carolina.
Okay, so you haven't watched Duke all year.
I haven't watched none of them. I try to catch when I can catch HBCU on TV. If that's that, I don't watch it.
They made a clear choice that they were not going to be in all in.
Well, that mean the spanking we put on y'all isn't worth starting off the podcast with. What is worth it is the Super Bowl. So obviously, that happened last night. It was a booty spanking. There wasn't really much that that Mahomes could do about it. I mentioned last week, I believe, that backup left tackle thing was going to be.
You did. You called it.
And I told you that dude was garbage, but I honestly didn't think it was going to be that bad. The pressure seemed to be coming relentlessly from everywhere. I think there was
I forgot. I told you guys. I forgot they had Shaq Barrett and.
Yeah, they got gang signs.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Dan, we call him gang signs. That's the one that lost his 2 fingers.
Oh, okay.
You're a beast, man.
Huh?
Oh, wait.
He's a beast.
Okay.
He is a beast. But anyway, the pressure was coming at Mahomes all night. Brady did his thing in the first half, although there was just numerous suspect penalties where it's like, come on, dog. You don't have to do this for this man. And for this, we know y'all want him to be the GOAT in your eyes. He'll never be the GOAT in my eyes, just to be honest with you. But I know that's what a lot of y'all want him to be. It is what it is. But those penalties, man,
First half.
those pass interferences, they're not even. I can understand if a wide receiver is turning around and making a cut, and you grab the jersey for a second, or you hook them for a second around the waist. They'll call that some. They weren't even doing that. They were like pity patting them, which is allowed because they didn't push them. It was just like, okay, I'm on you kind of thing. So that was very shiesty. But the fact that in the end, Kansas City wasn't able to score anyway, that the offensive line had nothing for them the whole night.
The O-line was garbage.
I mean,
why is Mahomes is running around like
Andy Reid said what it was, man. Todd Bowles got us.
Todd Bowles did a head feed another
job. What y'all think about the game?
I'll let you go ahead, Daniel.
I think Super Bowl is the only time I do watch a football game. I can say that's probably like one of the most boring Super Bowls I've seen.
Yeah, I stopped watching the second half. Once they got all the calls in the first half with Brady, it was game over. Like by the third quarter, they couldn't come back.
At the end, the calls didn't mean anything. At the end of the day, the calls really didn't change the game.
I think they did in the first half. In the first half, if they hadn't gotten those
here's why I said it didn't mean anything. Kansas City didn't score 1 touchdown. It's not like they made some adjustment and they finally got their rhythm going and you lose by 9 or 10 points. And then I can say those penalties came into play. The the whole game, it was a struggle. Y'all run through quicksand the whole game. I want to say the penalties had something to do with the outcome of the game, but in my opinion, I really don't think it mattered in the long run.
I think the penalty.
If they happened at the beginning of the game, they matter in the long run. Because now you're coming back from behind and you feel like you've been fucked over.
You weren't gonna come back from behind though. You were never. Oh, go ahead, James.
I don't know. I think to me, I told my wife after the first 2 minutes, I was like, Kansas City gonna lose this game. And my wife was like, what do you mean? They just started. And I said, they look like they resting on their laurels, right? They didn't come out looking like they were nervous. They came out looking like they were too good to be there. You know what I mean? Kind of like really like this, like, yeah, I'm Kansas City. I'm Pat Mahomes. I'm the defending champions. And the one thing I had to say is you're going against Tom Brady. So you know this dude's going to come into the Super Bowl serious. You know what I mean? And I think because they beat them prior in the season, it was kind of like, yeah, we got these guys. That's how it seemed to me. But hold on. I'm just going off their body language as being an athlete and just looking at them. They didn't look like – when you look at Tampa Bay, them boys look like they was focused. When I looked at Kansas City, they were looking like they were just kind of like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not like they weren't focused, but like they already had this in the bag. You know what I mean? But I will say this. It was a competitive game. That interception that they overturned, which I thought was total bullshit, because you can call that holding on every play of the game.
The only call that wasn't BS the whole game was when they held on the punt try or a field goal try. I guess it was a field goal try, but the dude blatantly turned around and grabbed with two hands.
Yeah.
Everything else was questionable.
And there was a pass interference call in the end zone with Matthews.
That was suspect.
And I said, if you give Matthews his interception and that pass interference don't call and they have to punt, I think the light switch would have came on for Mahomes. And here's the reason why I say this. When you did that, they were getting hyped up. They were like, yeah, okay, let's go. And when they went to Mahomes on the bench, I was like, okay, he's starting to focus in now. You see what I'm saying? He was talking to his O-line. You know what I mean? And then it reversed the call. The call went against them. They were always kind of like, you know what I mean? So I think they was talented enough, and it was kind of like, hey, man, y'all getting your ass kicked. That was like the jump start I needed to get going. I think that could have happened because they could have beaten Tampa Bay. I think they just kind of like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? After a while, because those penalties were detrimental. They weren't like, oh, okay. Those penalties turned into touchdowns. Especially that one pass interference call on Matthews. The next play right after that was a touchdown in the end zone. So
did I get conspiratorial here? I think if they're plus 145 to win, and Tom Brady is a potential presidential candidate in 20 years, he had to win. That's how I think the world actually works. I think that he was allowed to win.
I don't think he's a presidential. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
He could be like he's going to market himself as a less crazy Republican.
I do think that I agree with the first part of what you said, Rishi. They wanted him to have that seventh one so they could have something to say against Jordan or against whomever. They wanted him to be a part of the conversation. Now, having said that, I'm gonna just be straight up with you. He's in my top 3. He's not my the greatest quarterback I've ever seen though. It's number 1. Because I told there's a kid in our neighborhood that I talk to sometimes, and he's a Tom Brady fan, but he was trying to crap on Mahomes for a second, and I was like, hold on, dude. If you put Brady on the Chiefs last night against the rush that was coming at Mahomes, what's gonna happen? He was like, oh. I was like, yeah. I was like, you think Brady's gonna get out of that? It's probably gonna be worse, because at least Mahomes was able to scramble a few times the first half to kind of some yardage.
He was lucky.
He had more rushing yards in the first half. Probably that dude had 80 yards passing in the third quarter. I was like, yo. So in the first half, he probably had more yards rushing than passing. But if you switch the roles, if Brady's on the Chiefs, the same thing's going. You're gonna have the same result. I'm sorry. There were a couple of drops.
Kelce, yeah, he dropped one.
Tyreek Hill dropped one in the end zone. It was a difficult catch because it went through someone else's hands or whatever, but it hit you in the helmet. And then Kelce had that big drop on third down where it did seem like they were getting their momentum some. So, and James, to be honest with you, I can't even, at first I was going to disagree with you about the body language, but Daniel and I were watching the Shaq Bowl. So I wasn't even watching. I didn't see any of the body language because we were watching that joint of it. We'll talk about that later, people. Shaq Bowl was the real MVP yesterday. But anyway, he's number 3 in the top 3. Like I got Joe Montana, I still got Patty in my top 3. Is like just greatness. Like the dude has come in and went to the AFC champion.
Patrick Mahomes in your top 3.
Yes. I'm talking about as far as if my life is on the line, 3 quarterbacks I'm picking.
Oh yeah.
Mahomes was not the reason they lost last night. I'm sorry. The dude was throwing parallel to the ground, like sideways.
The whole line was
dying.
The whole line was.
You can't. What else can you do, homie? And here's the point: can Brady even get to the point where he can throw that pass? There's no way Brady can do. Pat Mahomes can do what Brady can do, but Brady can't do what Pat Mahomes does.
You saw Brady go through that with the Giants, and what happened?
Bam! Exactly. Let him up.
Curled up and started complaining. So if you get rushed, you get rushed. And the only person who probably could have gotten out of that situation is Michael Vick, and who could have scrambled enough to where the defense would have held back. So Mahomes did a hell of a job, but
even then, man, they were coming, James. They were coming like this. They weren't doing stunts. They weren't like, they weren't doing zone blitzes where they kind of back up, and it just seemed like every time missiles were hitting at them.
Every time I watched the fucking game, they were scoring, or they were getting.
I blame Andy Reid too. I blame Andy Reid a little bit.
You got to have something. You got to have some kind of adjustment ready for
that whole game. Your quarterback's in trouble. He's having a hard time getting a rhythm, and you just didn't run. None of the screens were going on. No reverses, nothing to keep the defense honest. But it is what it is. The game's over. Let's move on, man. We
gotta move on. We can't move on yet. We gotta talk about the things surrounding the game, such as first off, how'd y'all feel about the halftime show, Daniel? Now, Daniel was hyping me up all week. We doing the halftime show, brother. You need to listen. This dude is the heat.
I mean, The Weeknd is a great artist. Okay.
I like the halftime show. I'm just seeing where
I like the halftime show. I thought it was a good halftime show, especially for like COVID and all that stuff. So I thought he did pretty good on his halftime show.
I watched it just because I was playing video games.
I'm not even going to ask James. Actually, look on James' face. I don't even need to ask James what he thought about the halftime show. But I will say this. The weird thing about 2021 is you got to be careful that you don't make yourself meme material as you're doing stuff. So the crazy Daniel, I didn't think he did a bad job. But when he did that weird camera thing when he's backing up, he set off the meme world for the jokes. And the jokes kind of overrode the performance after a while. When I'm looking at Twitter, it's like they're just cracking on this dude about that one and about just random other stuff. But the one did you see the one I put in the other group chat? Daniel, they had one where they had his face up to the camera that close. They're like, this is when you're at the gas station and the crackhead comes up to your window asking for it looked just like that.
That one where it's like, this is how you look when you do a fat line of yayos. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what happened?
And that's what the beam was. but there's
Okay.
that
Okay.
happens.
Yeah, I mean, the halftime show to me wasn't bad. I mean,
I didn't watch it.
I thought it was entertaining personally.
yeah, I didn't
My
think
bag, but it's definitely. I
they'll
don't
make a
know.
mean about anything, man. Anything. If you ain't got just a straight face, they gonna make a mean about it. They make a mean about NBA players shooting jump shots. You know what I'm saying? So people are just bored and they're connected. So
I think they put out a meme like every week. Somebody messes up like every week, and there's like a meme every week.
yeah,
Yep.
Because wasn't last week's who was last week? I think last week was Lil Uzi Vert last week.
Oh yeah, the
Oh, with his thing, with his vision thing in his head.
Uh-huh.
I thought he just.
Did we talk, man? God, dog. Just begging to get your head cut off. That's $24 million right there, brother. I'm sorry. Somebody will decapitate you in Durham. I'm saying.
Yeah. You know, I didn't.
Don't come to Durham. Somebody will get you.
You know, I mean, I just, especially nowadays, like.
Yeah, when they so savage with it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And everybody hurting and.
So before we completely leave the Super Bowl, the ratings were down. I just saw by not by that much, but they were down. I think people are not necessarily tired of seeing Tom Brady, but I think once again they're hiding the fact that a lot of people don't have cable anymore. A lot of people are streaming everything, and I don't think those. I still think those numbers. What's up?
No, just saying I agree with you.
Yeah, I still don't think they're connecting those numbers the same way they talked about in the NBA, and then that turned out that was the truth. So who knows how many people really watched the game? I know everybody I know watched it, so that's kind of how I judge these things. But before the game, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't see, the real MVP of yesterday was the Shaq Bowl on YouTube. Right? So my man Shaq had musical guests like the Migos, Jack Harlow, and somebody's drunk uncle was on stage, James, spitting bars, whatever he was singing, doing the Elvis. Like, the whole time, the whole rap, it was ridiculous.
He drank too much before he started his song.
How much does Shaq have to drink to get drunk? He's gonna drink like
This wasn't Shaq. This was some rapper who looked like you're too old to be dancing like this. If you were, I told Daniel, if this was your son up there, your 5-year-old son doing all this, I'd be like, yo, that's
keep going at it. Do that.
You 30-something years old trying to dance or rap like this is 1988.
He must be listening to Puff Daddy.
What happens in Tampa stays in Tampa unless it's recorded.
No, but Shaq had he had Tebow, he had Nelly, he had Terrell Owens and Chad Johnson hosting.
The model that has vertigo, I don't know why I can't remember her name, but the vertigo model from what is it?
Oh
yeah, model?
Yeah. I don't know her name, but he had a couple of models on there. One was a little ditzy, the other one was definitely on point. He had cooking contest with some great looking food, spicy wing contest. That mess was what's up. So I gotta give Shaq his credit. Kudos to you, because it turned out that was the best thing we saw yesterday by far. I'm not even joking, to be honest with you. There was one other thing about that joint I wanted to mention. I'll remember it later. But anywho, moving on, James.
I think I know what you were gonna say.
Yeah, please help me. Please help me.
The fact of the matter that Shaq was so relaxed at this thing, like Shaq did not care that they were recording.
I
Shaq
forgot about that.
Yes, Shaq was just being Shaq.
Shaq was on his Snoop Dogg, so he was like motherfucking bullshit. I don't believe that.
Yes.
Like, he was going like that. Yeah, I forgot. Good job, Dan. I forgot about that. That's what really awesome. I forgot he was just kicking it.
And how everybody mics was messed up too. Like there was always a messed up mic in the scene.
Wait, so what did you guys think about? So if people are criticizing the ex-Cowboys QB and Jim Nantz and their
Tony Romo. One second, Rishi. I know what I wanted to talk about. 1 second before we get to Tony Romo, and their stupid calls last night. Here's what it was. I have a newfound respect for Tim Tebow. All hail Tim Tebow. All right, I'm gonna give it up. That dude is cold. They had a sit-up contest, James. I promise you, this dude did a sit-ups for a minute straight, like bow, 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 bow. Like as hard as he began, that's how he ended. He did like 100 of them straight. Ask Daniel. It was crazy.
Man.
I was like, my bad, Tebow. Okay.
Hey, go do an Army PT test. You got to do
That's what. Yeah.
No. But ask Daniel. It was different, dude. But he was different, James. I'm telling you.
Administrating.
He did them.
Yes, people have to do.
But it'll be a different conversation.
Daniel, you seen people do push-ups like that before?
Yeah, I used to be able to do push-ups like that.
Like that? I can't.
Yeah,
I can never.
I mean,
do like
sit-ups.
that.
No.
Look, you got to go for 2 minutes in the Army on push-ups
Yes.
and sit-ups. With only a 10-minute break. You ain't got. You got to go for 2 minutes straight.
Oh.
Push-ups, then yep.
Come on, James. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 20 right now, James. Let's go.
You don't see me, man. I was a beast, dude. I was a beast. I was 300 all day, man.
James, let me ask you one question. Do you remember?
Yo, we done got to that age where you do a push-up and the first thing you feel is your titty hit the ground.
James, do you remember that I was actually on the track team with you in 7th grade? I didn't get placed for anything, first, second, or third ever.
We already knew that.
But it was something.
Yeah, I remember you, man.
We already knew that.
You stopped and you kept winning. I was like, yeah. And the other kid, the white kid, was just,
Deaf kid. I remember. Yep.
Yeah. Yo, that dude was cold, wasn't he?
He was.
He was an athlete. I remember that.
He taught me how to run.
I think he was a pimp.
Yeah, he was cool, man. Wasn't he?
I know. If I remember correctly, he was cool as heck.
He was real cool, man.
That blonde kid, right? Blonde hair.
You were the best on the team.
Yeah, he used to have a black kid hanging around him and did sign language for him.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was cool, man. That's moment you don't realize how cool that is in high school when you get older and appreciate it more. But anyway, on from the Super Bowl night. What's next on the menu, James? Is it
Let's talk about the NBA, man.
Oh yeah, so go ahead, James. Lead us with this topic.
So, man, question, man. Do y'all guys agree with the NBA players who said they don't want to play the All-Star game? You got LeBron who says we have so much going on. It's not wise to bring everybody together for an All-Star game. We already got enough protocols just to do these regular games. You got Kawhi Leonard who says we all know what this is about. It's a money grab. We got to make that money over health. And to me, I like Harden's. I agree with Harden the most when he says, look, we're playing more games than we ever played within a week, trying to rush the schedule. We just came out of the playoffs, the bubble. And he says, man, we need to spend some time with our families. And, here we are just, we're looking forward to this time off where we could rest. You know what I mean? And so that all makes a good point to me, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that we should have a no All-Star game this year?
Can I start off with this one?
Go ahead.
That given this current situation and given like the fact that these guys are pros and they're like the heads of their various organizations, they need to pay respect to their opinions, or else the NBA is not going to work. And I think that the commission knows that, so I think it'll work out. But the All-Star game, unless there are incentives enough to make it happen, it's not worth the risk. If you pay, but it's not going to happen.
I got a simple analogy for this one that I told my my daughter the other day. Recently, I've been playing a lot of dominoes with my son. So of course, when you get some dominoes and you teach them how to play, one of the things you're gonna do is play that stacking game. You guys ever play the stacking game with dominoes? So I'll put two like this, and then you put one on top, and we just keep on building as high as we can, right? And whoever can stack the highest, whoever falls down first kind of loses or whatever, right? So here's my analogy. NBA, right now, this season is the stacking game. Came back fast, that's a stack. You got more games than usual, that's a stack. You got some of your stars played late into the season. So not only are you coming back at a different time, but the people who are most responsible for your success, who play later in the seasons, are the one you're putting at the risk the most. That's another stat. So as you're stacking in dominoes, when I'm playing the game with my son, the higher you go, what happens when you start getting kind of high? You feel like the next one you put on there is gonna make the whole thing fall down. All-Star game. That's where we're at with it right now. I feel like the stack is already like this. You got people getting pulled out of games. You got COVID. You got all this stuff going on. This All-Star game, it just feels like it's going to be that last thing that's going to shake it all down, because you have too many people in one spot for no reason at all. Number one, it's going to be Atlanta, so niggas is going to show up.
They're going to blame it on them.
I want to say the N-word, my bad. but that's who's going to show up anyway. Black people ain't showing up. But the other word I said, that's who's going to be showing up. It's going to be, Atlanta's been open. It's going to be going hard. I just saw some players for Carolina. So the game got canceled tonight from Duke and Carolina because two players from Carolina went out after the Duke game, got on video, dancing in the party without a mask. Miami's like, we don't want to play y'all tonight. Boop. So you think these NBA players, even though they're older and some of them are more mature, come on, man, it's the A. It's your break. Dude, things are going to happen. And here's the problem. No, LeBron's not going to go out and party. No, AD's not going to go out and party. But Contavious Caldwell Pope may be out there. And Marquise Morris may decide to join the party. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
William, somebody gonna go.
Yo, if I'm on the end of the bench, right? It's my time to be LeBron. I'm sorry. Yo, who are you? I play for the Lakers. Oh, word? Yeah, I didn't make the All-Star game this year, but LeBron said I'll be there in a couple of years. We'll be spending nonstop games. So my point is, you're stacking it too high, man. It's about to crumble. How'd y'all like that analogy? Come on now.
It was that analogy, Ken.
It's good.
Hey, appreciate it, freak.
Good analogy. Yeah, I'm gonna just say it like this. You have to, at some point, value your employees. Right. And to me, I think this is the first time I've seen the commissioner fail.
That's true.
Right. And so
tie that in with something after this, James. So go ahead.
So to me, the worst thing you can do is even though it's known that it's money over people, the worst thing you could do is make it obvious.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And so, like Ken says, you're going to a city that's open, that is probably COVID filled, right? And so you're going to go put an event, probably the biggest event in NBA, besides the playoffs, probably the biggest event in NBA season, in a city that's that hot. You know what I'm saying? And I just talk about
COVID and STDs everywhere.
Yeah, you know what you're doing, and you know, besides the stacking analogy Ken just said, what you're doing is ultimately restarting your season with your stars on COVID protocol. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to come back and have a season where KD ain't playing, Kyrie ain't playing, you know, Kawhi ain't playing, AD, LeBron, all of them on COVID protocol because they were just in the vicinity. And if I'm the stars, I'm getting on that COVID list. If you have this All-Star game. Oh, you want to have this All-Star game? Okay, hey, I was around somebody who had COVID. I need to quarantine. I can't go. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make that happen. And so, and then lastly, man, get these people some time with their families, man. Like,
that's the thing. So I think that the players have the leverage now because they're like, no, we're not going to risk our lives. You know, this is a point where they have leverage. They can do some stuff. The players union would be whoever, Chris Paul's brother or whatever.
And to Rishi, to James's point, we're about to take a hard left. I'm sorry, but this is going to lead into something very important. James mentioned the fact that this is the first time that the NBA commissioner has let the players down like that. Okay, you know what's interesting, James? The governor in North Carolina just decided that everybody's gonna go back to school probably in like within a month. He didn't sign it yet, but it's up, and he's been saying, you know what, kids need to go and get back to school.
I heard that.
180 from his whole stance during the whole election season. I find that kind of funny. Not only are we going to be going back to school, when we go back, there's not going to be half the classroom. There's not going to be a state. Everybody goes back. Just bam, everybody. Social distancing will not be required. And you can wear a mask, but no social distancing required. And this just out of the blue just happened. I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks after the inauguration. So, and all of a sudden the numbers are going down. And I mean, the vaccine is out here, but it's not hot and heavy yet. I'm sorry, Rishi, it just seems very peculiar that
money
and this ties into me.
Like money.
This ties into me with what James just said about the NBA commissioner. All of a sudden now it's like, yo, you know, let's go ahead and take a chance now. You haven't been taking chances this whole time. You did the bubble thing, you did everything so meticulously. Now all of a sudden, our homie's in charge now. You got the fool out, and now we can start opening things up all of a sudden. It just seems a little. What do y'all think? Is that it, man?
It is weird, but I think it also plays into the right wing theory that as soon as Biden got elected, everything's done. Like the vaccine, vaccine.
I'm not playing into a theory. I'm going off facts, though. This is what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. Yeah, it's questionable. I agree.
Thank you, sir. James?
I mean,
James knows everything's questionable.
Look,
I just got James excited over here, boy.
No, you can get me excited because I'm kind of like done with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take it from where I work at, right, in the government, right. And so they posed that question, and the answer was, "Hell no! You bring your asses back up here." You know what I'm saying? But we're in a different environment. We're not the civilian world, and we don't work off of dollars like that, right?
Mm.
So here's the thing, right? I was reading an article, and I think it was MIT article where they said it's not 3 different strands of it; it's more like 4,000. And so, yeah, so basically they were lying, or they just didn't. Well, I ain't gonna say they didn't know.
Well, what does that mean though? Different strands. Does that mean that one vaccine, if there's one part of the virus that's
Well,
I was gonna say,
go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say, you know how the flu has different variants of it? It's never the same flu every year.
Yep.
It's the same thing with coronavirus or any other disease that usually pops up.
Yeah. So, and Daniel's right? And so, but to have 4,000 different variants, it means that, you know, the vaccine, it maybe protect you against the original one, right? But it's not going to protect you against the other ones. So what they said was the vaccine can kind of protect you against the UK variant, but it's not shown to be effective against the South America and South Africa variant, right? And so, and this is what I agree with this article to an extent, right? I think they gave up, right? I think right now what you're feeling is defeat, right? And when they know that now, or they saying, oh, well, you could take the Pfizer vaccine and mix it with the Moderna vaccine, and then we're working on a booster, right? So that's what the conversation is right now. So if you look at some of the language what CDC is saying is, okay, you could take the one that's coming from Australia and mix it with the Moderna, and then we'll give you a booster with the Pfizer. What? So they're trying to mix all 3 vaccines out there. And now Johnson & Johnson is asking for approval for a vaccine. And this MIT guy who did this report, he's basically saying, for the first time in his medical career, he sees the U.S. government taking a loss, Like they just don't know what to do because
Mm.
you can't beat this, right? So what are you gonna do? But say, hey, just go back to your regular lives because we don't have an answer for you, right? When it's simple, if you just will quarantine or lock down for 3 to 4 months, you can curb it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's at their wits ends with being at home and all this other stuff. Um, so that's what I think about it. It was an interesting article, uh, but to find out it's over 4,000 variants, we ain't got a chance no more. We they didn't do the right things in the beginning, and I agree with you. Biden won, and like they're trying to save face now. You know, so you did this Operation Warp Speed, and it's all falling apart. The article says something funny. This is what caught me. Article. It says people are trying to harvest. Medical people are harvesting the bad doses of the vaccine, so and selling it on aftermarket. So it only can last what you call it, 3 days or whatever. So now they trying to take that and then sell it on the street. So why not go back to opening up everything and it is like, hey, we'll let the dust settle when it settles.
They're gonna try to enact that herd immunity early.
Yeah. I ain't messing with it. I ain't taking that mess.
I was talking to a doctor. I had a doctor's appointment today, and he was telling me about all the vaccines and how good it is and all that stuff.
Oh, and just to be clear, the governor has not said we're going back yet, but if we do, those would be some of the stipulations that I mentioned before. I don't want to be wrong on that, but yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Personally, I don't worry about what I can't control. I'm going to take care of my family, myself, the best that I can. Be safe, be diligent, try to not be out and about too much, all that good stuff.
We had one city, Columbus, Ohio, that did that. And sent everybody back to school. And within 4 days, they had to re-shut down. And this is the sad part. It's kids that were in the hospital.
Oh Lord.
It wasn't the adults, and they need to cut that mess out quick. And what you're saying is that the virus is not going to harm you. Like you can't social distance. You're basically going and contradicting yourself. You're telling President Biden's telling everybody, "Oh, you need to social distance and do this and that," but then the schools are saying, we're not going to social distance. So who's right or who's wrong?
It's a mixed blend. Even like my kids' schools, every week there are 2 people that get it. I get emails for it.
I got 4 emails a day from my school district. Middle school had a case. High school had a case. Middle school, it's just.
And so is this going to be life as we know it? Are we just going to have random people dying from COVID just for the rest of the foreseeable future, and we're just going to go back to our way of life and just have to deal with those consequences? Is that what they're trying to make happen right now?
Who knows, man?
I think as humans we adapt and we'll figure it out. I mean, we had the worst diseases on the planet, and we gave it to everyone else when we came to the USA. But people still survive and they do what they have to do. Like it's a part of nature. I think viruses are like a part of nature, but how you deal with it is how you actually save your life and the lives of your loved ones.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess the hard part would be how how they just let earlier on how the virus just like went through and started ravaging everything. I feel like if we would have caught it earlier, it probably wouldn't have been so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And
how are they doing on the other side of the world right now? Because they caught it fairly early and they locked down things. And how are Japan and China and them doing now?
I mean, Japan is fine. Of course, Africa still has the lowest rate. New Zealand, places like that haven't had a case in months. You know what I'm saying? But they totally locked down. They totally shut down, island down. So there's one of those other islands. I forgot what it was called, but they had a case in months. So it's proof into what works and what don't work. But the thing is, like after the Super Bowl, you see these people running around partying with no mask. The same thing you mentioned about the Carolina players.
At the Tory Lanez concert. Yep.
And the thing is, the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting it or spreading it. So
I have to admit though, I get tired of seeing that on the news where they'll show like on the news constantly last week during the world news at 6:30, this grocery store in Florida where nobody's wearing a mask. And I kept on telling my family, okay, that's not news to me because that's Florida. And they've been on that. Like that's like to me putting something up about something like a party going in Atlanta during the All-Star weekend, and that's a big deal. And I guess the All-Star game is different because you may have a lot of people coming in from out of town. Super Bowl, maybe you had a lot of people coming in who are Bucks fans. Maybe you had a lot of locals. I don't know. It just seems to me to me, it's not big news when you have these states who have already said we're not going to do such and such, and they're still doing it. I just see that as, okay, that's what I expect for them to do. Why is that news? Now, if they do that kind of thing in somewhere where we thought, like, I don't like to be caught off guard or tricked. Like, if we thought they were supposed to be doing the right thing in New York or my local area, and then they bust off and have some kind of Florida or Atlanta party in one of these places, then to me, that's like, whoa, what's really going on? But they've been on this ignorant thing, y'all. They've been on it, and they're not going to get off of it. Their economy is very much tied to it as well, and they realize that. Y'all see what happened in California? California took an L during this pandemic. They really did. And Florida didn't take an L like California. One of them shut down, one of them didn't.
People are moving there too.
Moving where?
Florida.
Austin, Florida, all these places. Just tax-free.
So
it's a warmer.
I mean, that's not to say I don't believe in the disease and that it kills people and that it's dangerous. That because to be true. But at the same time, it's like you abide by the laws in each given state, or that's the way it's been laid out. So unless Biden comes through with some federal thing where everything has to be willy-nilly across the board, then all this state is doing, there's a party here, and this state they're doing, because like we just said, California, you shut down, it effed up the whole state. And it probably sent them on a trail where they're not going to recover anytime soon. Florida, you stayed open. It's not like you just told me people are moving there. So, but could that be the initial bump? Could that be the initial whatever? And then later on, will California be in the plush position because they did the right thing? We don't know. It's yet to be determined. We know who did. Oh, go ahead, James.
Florida has one of the highest cases, though.
Yep.
Of course, they're one of the worst states. So, so it's a catch-22. You know,
what you saw.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but lead to this, what you call it, this anti-mask movement, right? Where you got people, the clip I showed you guys in the group chat, where that guy was in the mayor's face, like it's gonna be the most phenomenal anti-mask movement ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, what the hell you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have young people join you. You're gonna have, it's irresponsible, man. You know what I mean? If you don't believe in the virus, hey, I got no problem with that. But don't impose, with your beliefs on somebody else to where they get harmed. So, but I don't know, we're in a bad way, man. I might move to Canada.
We'll see. Canada's cold, boy.
Toronto was awesome, man. Vancouver's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard Vancouver is awesome. Toronto was great, but that was during the summertime. I don't know about that winter thing. Something awesome that didn't happen to somebody. Daniel, let us know about this fool Lou Dobbs.
Oh God. So apparently, Lou Dobbs show was abruptly canceled by Fox because Fox got hit with a $2.8 million lawsuit.
Wait, repeat that. 2.8
billion.
Yes, there you go. I just want to hear you say billion again. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Fox got hit with a 2.8 billion lawsuit. So they just, and I think because they was talking about the voter machines, the companies that make the voter machines, talking about the election fraud, which everybody knows that there was no election fraud. But if you really want to look for election fraud, it was actually Republicans voting, like double voting and all that stuff. But we'll never get that. Then some people won't publicly say that, but
Election fraud has been happening since Jim Crow. Bottom line, that's it.
I was about to say that
So
they've been doing it forever.
yeah.
Oh, they were so mad when they lost. Remember, like, we cheated. We're supposed to win.
Yeah.
Maybe the other side cheated harder. Who knows?
So whoa. So Daniel, so he's connected to, or he allowed that rhetoric to be on his show.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of other anchors that they're looking at also. But anybody on Fox News that said that there was voter fraud without proven proof, I think the voter services are just out here just suing people now.
So like this whole time that those voting machine companies were just in the cut like this, yeah, dummy, keep on running your mouth.
Pretty much, because everything's recorded and you can just take it to court. Like, hey, they defamed our machines. So I mean, it's the way I see it, it's a pretty easy lawsuit.
Yeah,
that's a pretty easy lawsuit to win.
It should be. Depends on who's.
And they got them, Rishi, because you have no factual evidence, and that's slander, and you're hurt by business.
I was looking at that was a thing where and half of their people, I was looking at something, I can't remember if it was Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity. I think they said something about how they don't vet information. So if they hear something from somebody, they just go up and blurt it and stuff. So
I believe it. Whatever's hot, whatever's controversial.
We talk about
here's where the voting machine is going to lose at, right? For one, you don't have enough. You don't have more legal money than Fox. Fox is going to end up burying them. Two, you have to prove that Fox actually cost you to lose money. And since there's no elections going on and you're not selling any machines, if your bottom line is higher than what it was previous year for this election, then you didn't lose any money. And so you have to prove without a doubt that what Lou Dobbs said cost you financial gain.
But what if some of the voting machines were replaced that in some districts, and it didn't even have to be that many? Isn't that like all you need is a couple of cases of that happening, and that's just verified proof that you were.
Dobbs is full of shit,
man. Is that what it comes down to?
I'm not saying he wasn't, but you have to, for one, that's the case if they had to refund the money. But they just changed out machines and bought the machines because people were complaining. That's why
Dominions suing them for $1 billion because they played the game right. It's just a simple thing. And the whole cheating thing happened is because they're pissed off because they lost.
Now they can sue them from slander, but they can't sue them for loss of financial gain
or defamation. But I was just saying, couldn't they sue Fox News for Fox News not saying, "Hey, you need to stop that," or like, wouldn't Fox News be liable? That's why.
Defamation of character lawsuit.
They can sue us for that. Why can't we sue them for
that? I don't know. I'm not saying they can't get sued. I'm just saying $2 billion. You're gonna have to find
you can't afford the lawyers to battle them.
It depends on who's invested in your company.
But if their lawyers, the former
I've learned, if anything I learned about the last couple of weeks, shareholders means a lot.
So
shareholders with that company that have an investment. What we've been talking about the last couple of weeks.
And I'll tell you like this.
Who knows, Mike? Excuse me.
This is how it'll play out. Fox will get somebody who's rich to go buy that company out.
Okay, that sounds like a feasible plan. I can
in the lawsuit.
So not just settle. Go ahead and just buy the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't.
That's Big Willie style. What's next on the menu, gentlemen?
We did Lou Dobbs. Man, let's talk about this Utah high school, man. Utah school system, period. I don't even want to get into it, man, but the people need to know.
Jay, why you over here heated about this story, man? Go ahead.
I'm not heated about it, man. I'm just saying. Like, for me, I already know my response is the same as yours. So,
wait, what happened? Just explain it first.
So the Utah school system got a consensus from all the parents in the school district that they don't want to have their kids subject to Black History Month learning.
Is it one school or a school district?
It's a school district. I thought it was one school.
Those are district.
Yeah.
Okay.
You read the article. Well, it says school district on the article. I don't know how big Utah is. There might only be one school.
But you cracking jokes over here on Utah. Sorry if y'all that live in Utah. We didn't mean it.
But to me, I'll let you guys.
System for all the Black people.
I'll let you guys go first. Dang, what you think about it, man?
Shoot. I mean, if they're going, it's like if you're saying here you're trying to get people to opt out, so you're trying to guess it's like you're trying to hide, like hiding it's like you don't want people to know the past. So if you give a choice somebody, if you give somebody a choice not to do something, most chances they're not gonna do it. That way, and then if it's one of those things about learning about the past, so better in the future and stuff, but you're just kind of taking that away.
But these are white parents.
Yeah. I mean, you ought to know what happened, So that's my thoughts on it.
I agree with that.
You agree, Reese? You got anything else?
Now let's move on. Next subject.
Move on. No, we ain't moving on. Hey, man. Y'all do what you want to do. Good. You're racist. Perfect. Now we know. Trust me. I did not plan on spending. I did not plan on spending. Wait, I do not plan on spending my hard-earned Black dollar or my hard-earned Asian wife's dollar.
You already knew that.
Regardless, when we go on a snow trip, don't worry. We'll go to Colorado and Denver and spend our money there with some people who want to have us and appreciate us. If you don't appreciate us, it's cool, man. Don't Black people spend money, though. You're really messing up. If you kind of, see, if you were smart, you would have said, we're definitely going to celebrate Black History Month. Come on down here. We got some other stuff for you, too. And then you got some tourism going for whatever kind of reason, because some brothers like snow bunnies, but no, you didn't do that. You went ahead and put it out there that y'all are some racist dummies that don't have money. So go ahead. Keep your ugly hoes.
Yeah, that's why I don't go. I don't go to a place. I don't see
my take on it, right? Why now? All these years you've been sending your kids to school during Black History Month. Why now? What drew you to this conclusion? Were you just tired of all Black Lives Matter? Was you tired of, Black people getting? I don't know what it is, but why now?
Now, one thing I do need to bring up, though.
Camera phones.
One thing I do need to bring up, I'm proud of North Carolina. We just passed some new legislation where we're going to change the whole social studies curriculum to be more current and reflect the true history of this country over the last 400 years. And Republicans are mad about it. They're not feeling it, but it is what it is. So that's why I'm like, Utah, go ahead, y'all, go ahead, man. Let these racists put themselves. Did we not learn anything from Trump? Let the racists put themselves out there. It makes them so much easier to target. You do the job. Thank you.
Here's my question.
Thank you, Utah.
Right? Here's my question, right? How can you be a Republican and say that you're for the nation being together, we all one people, this and that, and you don't want to learn about the biggest population in your country? You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, come on, man. It's like, what's so bad about you spend all this money on Asians, you spend all this money on every other culture, but when it comes to Black history, it's always a problem. It's always a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, it just shows you that racism hasn't gone anywhere.
We don't want to feel guilty. That's what it's showing you. We're snowflakes. We don't want to feel guilty.
Yeah.
They give you 1 month of the year.
We celebrate black excellence.
All year.
The shortest month of the
All
year.
year. I am Black History.
Yeah.
All year.
It should
You know
be.
what I'm saying?
that-
So
it's American history. That's what it should be called.
Yes.
All year.
Facts. But yeah, there's no skin off my back. No.
On the speakerphone in the morning, they would during Black History Month, they would like say something about something, or someone important about Black History Month, but it was no one really listened. It was,
Oh no, we get down at my school, homie. We have the bomb
at our school
Black history performance. We brought a band in. We had the choir. I'm up there emceeing along with my homegirls this year, even though we don't have obviously we can't have a performance. We've done a whole lot of things over the computer. I made a whole thing where what does Black Panther mean to you? Where I made a montage of clips about him and
you're making positive changes. I'm talking about like when we were in
I'm talking about now. This is what we're doing now. Forget back then. I'm talking about right now. This is what we're doing for Black History Month. We're making sure the vibe is out there. People are surprised, like, wow, y'all still keeping up, huh? You damn right. We're on your neck. And it's not just, I want to make this very clear. I'm very fortunate. I work with a bunch of Black women who hold me down. That's my sisters. We are tight. We're cool. Group chats, all that. Respect me, respect my wife. Look out for a brother and make sure we do stuff that make these Black kids have a positive image within their own lives that's reachable and touchable. And that's the most important thing you can do during Black History, people. Even if you don't have a presentation, even if you don't have whatever, this is all the time, Black folk, make yourself reachable and accessible to young people especially, and have a dang conversation, because that's what other groups do that we don't. I guarantee you, Richie can tell you right now that there's a great amount of conversation that's expected to happen between the elders and the youngers of his generation, where the young people of his generation have to sit there and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, there's no talking.
And then hear the game. Oh, not anymore. That's gone. You're
you just have to listen. There's no talking. You just listen.
Oh, okay. You're right. Yes, exactly. Hey, you said what? Yes. So that's what we're trying to get there, Richie, for real. And we're gonna have, as far as Black people, our own blended version of that, because what I've learned, you just gotta let people have their say. Like, kids are gonna listen to you if they feel like you hear them too. There's got to be a balance. If you're just preaching at them, anybody, they're gonna tune you out. That's just natural. So, conversation, listen before you start running your mouth back and get all angry and now you don't know what you're talking about. Just chill, hear them out, and then you can take piece by piece. And instead of telling them they're wrong, just give them the other side of it. Hey man, oh, you got the girl that way, and she gave you an STD, huh? Yeah. Well, hey, you may want. Hey, how about next time? I met my girl. You know where my girl be at all the time when I first met her? The library. I wouldn't be hitting up chicks at the club. I'd be going to the library, chilling at a table. You know what I'm saying?
They both mix it up.
They're gonna hear you because you gave them the opportunity to get the whole story out, though.
I agree with. I know what you're saying.
Anyway, sorry to get off. I need to get off my soapbox. But yeah, it is Black History Month. I'm feeling. I love. This is the greatest month of the year. Rishi's birthday. My birthday's at the end of the month. My son, my mama, my sister, my nephew. Well, Valentine's Day. Everybody gonna get. Most of us gonna get some.
I just had my anniversary on Sunday, yesterday.
You got your anniversary coming up, bro? What day is that, James?
It was yesterday.
Okay, that's what's up, James. My mama's birthday is the 11th. Rishi, when's your birthday?
Today.
What? We didn't say
Happy birthday.
I forgot. We've been saying happy birthday in the group chat all day, people. I forgot. Rishi don't be bragging on himself.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's not a big birthday. It's 41. It's like an odd number. It's not even.
It is. It is.
You made it past 40.
Listen, that February is that month, man. The Super Bowl. February is lit. Y'all gotta admit, February is what's up.
Yeah.
For real, that's why she's on point. What's her birthday, James?
The 24th.
Oh, right around my son. That's crazy. February be lit, man. I'm telling you. Rishi, you doing for your birthday, homie? What's up?
You got a tequila bottle, man. I saw it out there.
No, that's hot sauce. That's hot
Oh,
sauce.
that vodka? No. You had it earlier, man.
Hot sauce.
Oh, you mean this guy? Oh,
Yeah, there you go. That vodka. There you go.
no.
This is birthday.
I'm not a liquor drinker. I'm not doing anything. This is it.
You're 41, man. You're supposed to be chilling.
Yeah, it's birthday's on
I was messing with you.
birth month, and I'll use it to get free drinks at where establishment I go to.
There you go.
That's just how I work it every year. So that's how it happens.
What's up next, James?
All right. Let's talk about this Josh Hawley and Bobert.
Josh Hawley and Bobert. Okay, so we'll go with Josh Hawley. So I guess when Josh Hawley turned in his campaign workers, it showed that he went to Universal Studios and used his campaign funds to buy the food while they was at the while they were at Universal Studios. And then also Bobert's pretty much in the same like spot, but I think she did it a little different. She has a restaurant, and I can't remember what it's called though, but she was supposed to pay her the employees that have unemployment, and I don't think she did, but pretty much she's in the hole. So she turned in some travel documentation saying she traveled like a ridiculous amount of miles so she can get a payout from it, so she can pretty much pay what she owes in her business. So, and then when I read that, and as I was talking about it, I also was thinking about something else. If y'all don't remember, there was a Republican politician who got arrested last year for doing the same thing, but he got pardoned by Trump. Now, it may not be connected, but I was sitting here thinking, like, they sitting here tried to attempt this insurrection the other day. What if they did it just to try to get pardons from Trump? Like they got secret pardons or something like that. That's why they went so crazy and stuff. Because they saw that Trump pardoned, he pardoned the politicians that did it before they did it. So y'all think that's what I was thinking about.
Makes me pissed off. Just get angry. I just get angry thinking about it.
Get angry.
Yeah. So Holly,
Roger Stone, fucking this other fucking guy, fuck all of them.
if what you call it? If Josh Hawley was buying food because he was on a campaign for his people.
No. I don't think he was on vacation with his family. Like they looked up the dates and all that stuff, and they figured out like it wasn't for like campaign stuff. It was like personal use.
Yeah, he fucked up. I remember one time I was traveling in the army, going to school. And you know how you get those travel cards, right?
Yep.
And this is when I banked with Bank of America, right?
Wait. First, what's a travel card for the non-military?
What you use to when the army sends you to school or you PCS, you got to put everything on your card.
Your passport?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a travel card, a credit card.
It's a travel card. It's a credit card. It's a military credit card. You don't use your own money. You'll use the Army's money, like when you're going to school. So like if you're going to school, they give you a per diem. So you have a certain amount, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Sometimes you get like you pay for your plane tickets. Like no money is supposed to come out of your pocket when you're going.
Yeah.
When you have to travel for duty.
Right. So I was sitting in there and it was a day before I had to leave. So my travel card was always on, but you're not supposed to use it unless you're in this day to this day, right? And I ended up pumping gas because it looked just like my, Bank of America card. So I was sitting there, I'm pumping gas, and I got it in my hand, I'm turning my hand, I'm like, holy shit, did I just use this card? So that's how important it is. I remember paying it that night. I remember going home and just paying it off that night so nobody say shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And it lends to the fact if he's using that campaign money for personal things, then basically he's taking our money right here and funding his his life.
But it's obvious that it happened.
Yeah.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
He did it
I
way
think
worse.
they just pick and choose who they're gonna bust.
DJT did it way worse.
And this other chick, if you took unemployment money that was set aside for the pandemic for your employees,
No. She owed money for unemployment, and I think she had to pay out some of her employees' unemployment or something like that. And I guess she didn't have the money because when the pandemic hit, her restaurant, know how like restaurants got hit. So I think she had to figure out another way to pay that money that she owed.
Well, yeah, that's rough. I don't want to say that that's deliberate then. So
Yeah, pay what you owe. That's where it go.
I think some of it is deliberate because there are bad people in the world. But I agree. I'd like to think that there's not that many people that would do that.
That's all we got for the day, folks.
Yep. Should I ask James? No, I don't want to ask.
Ask, man. Fire Optics.
Oh no. But it's the thing I talked to you about before.
Oh hell no. Leave that thing alone, man. I ain't got no comment.
All right, now I'm curious. What's up? What are you
No, we'll talk about it after the show. That's what. Okay, when we get our Patreon going, these are the conversations you're gonna want to hear. I promise you, this is a goodie, but you have to pay a little extra for that. But Fire Optics, Daniel, Rishi.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wanda and Vision episode 5 was fire. Okay.
Wait, did someone die finally?
It was fire.
Were killed? There's some action.
It was fire.
I did notice that every episode they go from the 50s to the 60s and 70s.
What was the highlight? What was the highlight of that episode?
Oh, Pietro came at the end, but the one Pietro, how she had a twin brother, he died in Ultron, but they instead of getting that one, they brought the one that was in the X-Men movie.
Oh, gotcha.
So what did she do?
He just runs real fast.
I mean, so he came back at the end. What did he do when he came back?
Oh, he was just knocking at the door, and then it just left a cliffhanger right there.
And that's my problem with the show. Nothing ever happened.
And I was as we was talking, you're gonna have to watch it. You're gonna have to watch Wanda and Vision because they're gonna come out with Falcon and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They're gonna come out with that. You saw the preview for it.
Yeah, it looks good.
They should have named it WTV.
You know what I'm talking about. We talk about Falcon and we saw the Super Bowl commercial.
It looked good.
Oh yeah, that show looked good. I'm watching that. The one with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's a movie.
No, it's a show.
No, that's a show. That's a show.
It's a show.
James, do you realize they have more action in that commercial than they had in all 5 episodes of WandaVision?
But you're gonna have to watch WandaVision because it's gonna tie into their show too.
Give a damn.
You're not gonna understand. You're not gonna understand everything.
You're gonna explain it to me.
You'll explain it to us, and then we'll just.
You're gonna explain it to us.
Y'all gotta watch
right
this
now.
show.
What happened in episode 5 that's so that is?
Daniel, I got you, man. I got you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put it on, man, when I'm playing NBA 2K, and I'm gonna watch it, man.
Because I don't know, did y'all watch when did y'all watch when they had all that stuff, the Defenders and stuff, right?
What episode was that?
Like, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. You know how they had all those shows, and all those shows was like together. They're gonna do the same thing. So y'all gonna have to watch all the shows.
Oh, the Netflix thing where they try to make everything.
Yes.
So are you telling me I'm not gonna be able to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier kick butt just because I didn't see one?
Probably not. You're gonna have to watch it. Like you just gonna have to take some shots so you can be like, oh, okay. Look, I love a good show. Okay, so you gonna have to watch Wanda and Vision regardless.
I'll check it out because you said it. I'll check.
Yeah,
I watched the first episode. Now I'll watch.
You said the same thing 2 weeks ago, Rishi.
But
No,
now
this time I really will.
I'm
I
explaining
really
it
will watch
better.
This time I really will watch it. The third episode. I watched 1 and 2.
See,
So there's 3, 4. There's like 6 now.
5, and
5.
then another one come out Friday.
He sound like a lying ex boyfriend, man. Baby,
No, seriously.
I'm not gonna do it
The
again.
thing is, I love Marvel and comic books and all that, so I get it. I just want to see some crazy stuff, like someone getting stabbed or shot.
I don't know about all that, but
Superpowers, superpowers to like burn someone, whatever. I just don't want to see black and white shit.
Well, they
Yeah.
get out of the black and white.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. So they go from 50s
Yeah.
to 50s to 70s, and it's
so because it's in color, I'm supposed to watch it.
I think
Well,
it gets
you
better.
might as well
I think it gets
just
better.
pick some time out. You're gonna have to watch it. You got to pick some time out.
I think it gets better.
Watch
It sounds like a Marvel soap opera, and I don't do soap operas, man.
They took a risk by doing the show because it probably costs a lot of money.
And Daniel, am I wrong? Isn't it like a Marvel soap opera, basically?
No, it's a backstory.
Don't stop hating.
There's
on
no-
you, man. Don't stop hating on your show, man.
I don't want to say it's a
Yeah, you
soap
can't
opera.
talk. You know what?
It's
You don't
like-
watch the show, Dan. You can't say anything.
I'm
You
just
right over
like-
here with me.
I'm just busy.
You right over here with me, huh?
You remember you? Oh,
I
you remember how?
man, he's a young man. I'm trying to help him out.
I was gonna say, you remember how like Iron Man started?
Oh yeah,
Was you like excited to
Right.
watch the Iron Man movie?
The movie.
yeah, but it was yeah.
The first one. We're talking about the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah, it's a movie though. Yeah, it was good.
Okay. So Iron Man soft-footed everything in. I feel like since they doing the whole TV thing, Wanda and Vision is gonna soft-foot everybody into it.
Here's
And then I promise you, these shows are gonna connect with the movie. So then you would have to look at the shows. Then they're gonna connect with other shows. Then they're gonna connect with movies. Like it's a big puzzle piece.
But you
No,
know,
because I'm gonna go like this in the movie theater. I'm gonna elbow you and say, "Hey, Danny, what are they talking about?"
you gonna watch
I
it?
hope it's what you're saying, Daniel, but I think it's also because Disney got their claws into it and bought Marvel and all that. They're just going to try to monetize everything at the expense of quality television. Maybe
I'm still gonna watch it.
based on the first 2 episodes, I think that's what it was. But
Let me ask you this, Danny. Did you cry at the end of Endgame when Iron Man died?
I cried a little bit.
Okay, so you did feel a certain way about it, right?
Yeah, it bumped me out. Yeah.
Okay, that's the difference between us then, because I didn't give a.
You didn't give a shit when Iron Man died? What about when everyone?
Robert Downey Jr. What are y'all talking about? That's not no Iron Man. That's not no real person. He's just
What
a
about when
fool.
Black Panther went to dust?
no.
Did I cry? No. That's thing. Chad. You know when I did cry? When Chadwick Boseman died, I did cry for real.
True, same here.
Straight tears, because the man died.
That movie afterwards, you'll cry because you know it's Chadwick Boseman.
Because he's dead now in real life.
Yeah.
Here's my point. You have an emotional attachment to Marvel. James and I just don't. I'm sorry. So you're
a comic book fiend back in the day. A fiend, comic book fiend, man. All these comic books.
okay, cool. That makes sense. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm trying to tell you, Daniel, that's the separation. Like, I don't have enough emotionally invested into Marvel to give a dang about WandaVision and all this coming together. No, man. No, it's not. No, I'm not. Nope, not gonna do it.
You're gonna what you call it? You know, stop Daniel from talking about WandaVision on the cast, man.
No. I love it when he brings it up because then I just smash it.
No, you won't smash my love
I'm
for
gonna
it.
give you the shot for you.
I'm
Man.
not smashing love
Thank
for
you.
it. I'm not.
Steve.
You fam. I'm smashing the show. It has nothing
I converted 2 people. You're gonna be the last person.
Hey, but HBO is coming out soon with Judas and the Black Messiah.
I will watch
Oh,
it.
word?
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming on HBO Max. So
Judas in the Black Messiah. What is that?
coming out, I think next week.
Black Jesus and Judas.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Are they gonna try to make it some like contemporary thing?
Who's comes out this Friday?
Is it like a contemporary thing, James? Or they really do it?
I think it's about the infiltration of the Black Panthers.
Oh.
Oh, you mean my bad. You're talking about the one with your boy from Get Out and
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And Stanfield. Okay. Yeah, I do want to see that.
And the assassinations.
Oh, and then we got to talk about Coming to America too. I saw the previews for that.
Oh,
The previews look, but there's already a big problem, guys. What's the big problem, Jay? Try to read my mind. What's the big problem?
It's streaming. It's coming out on streaming.
That's not the problem. Rishi, what's the big problem?
It's coming out on Amazon.
Agree with me. This is a big problem for me.
Not free? What is it?
No, that's not it. Dan, you said it's not. It's PG-13. Easy.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
North Carolina 17, 8-17. North Carolina 17.
That was a perfect reaction. Y'all gave me exactly what I wanted. Thank you, fellas. That's exactly what I did. Like, no, man, what the? Tracy Morgan, Wesley Snipes. Dolomite was rated R. Why are you going? Don't do this, man. Don't see now it's going to be. You know why? Because they want to make it kid accessible. So, but you don't Dr. Doolittle coming to America. It's coming to America.
I ain't watching that shit.
So you're saying going to America is
no, but now, James, here's what they're doing. Now they want you to watch it with your kids. That's why they did that.
Yeah,
Might be some positivity in it.
Exactly, Jay. It may be something the family can enjoy together. That's why he did it. Because you got
the first thing you can enjoy with your family.
Mandalorian was the first.
No. Because I remember my parents took me, and they did not think them big old tower owls were gonna be in my face when he was taking the bath. They did not see that coming.
No. The majority of the movie was funny as hell.
I think that's the first time I ever said areola in my life.
But look, it's not gonna be the same without the cursing, man.
It's not. I know, Jay. That's why I mentioned it. I knew you were gonna care about that.
Yeah, you can't go to the barbershop, man, without being in the barbershop, man.
But you know what? That PG-13, you can get away with a lot more nowadays with PG than you could back when Coming to America came out. So
now they can say shit and bitch on.
You can only say it like a certain amount of times.
But on TV,
they just can't say the F word. Yeah, they just can't say the F word.
But when we were born there, you can say F. Like,
James, to be honest with you, I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna watch it.
Shut up, James. The timing and the jokes got a hit. If you're not cussing, if you're not letting these dudes just freestyle and say what they gotta say, then the timing has to be impeccable. Like a lot of people don't think about that when it comes to comedy, but you can't be out here just letting stuff fly and blah blah. If these jokes kind of sink in a little bit and play it right. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, you gotta. James is not feeling it. James says it's done. It's a wrap.
You still gonna watch it? Watch.
I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, he's gotta watch it.
My wife wants to see it, man. But damn, man, you got Wesley, Tracy Morgan. Even
now you get to watch it with the family, James. That's messed up. Why can't you just watch it with the family, man?
Right there, have them watch that rated R movie right with me, man. Be laughing. They be like,
I'm gonna watch the hell out of it. It's gonna be funny.
I hope it's good. But when I saw that, I'm like, James, man. I'm like y'all saying the same thing. It's just you just don't want limitations.
But
it doesn't like you have to be overly grotesque. I don't need you to cuss a lot, but I just don't want you to be limited in where it could go as far as what they call it when you're at not method acting. The word we use all the time, where you do something natural in acting. What's it called?
Acting?
No, not acting. No, it's when you do stuff off script.
Ad-lib.
There you go, James. My bad, I couldn't think of that. It seems to me you would have a lot less wiggle room with ad-libbing and things of that nature. And that's the thing about Eddie Murphy. I've heard that a lot of his great, like Boomerang, I heard there was a lot of those scenes were ad-lib. John Witherspoon from Rooter to the Tutor, you think that was written? you think the writing team sat down and wrote that down? But from Belt Match, maybe they wrote that, but you know a lot of that movie was same thing with Harlem Nights, same thing with a lot of our favorite movies, man. So that's where I'm like, dang, your creativity is going to be limited.
I gotta temper my expectations because I'm so used to that Harlem Nights era, those classic movies.
The golden years. Daniel, you missed out, man, because Harlem Nights, Boomerang, and the other one he came out with, and Coming to America. Those three right there, no matter what Eddie Murphy does the rest of his life, they can, I mean, there's others that came in the 80s, obviously, but for Black people, specifically to me, Boomerang, because it wasn't slapstick like Harlem Nights and Coming to America are undeniable classics. They really are. But in terms of culture and the impact it had on Black people, I'm telling you right now, if you went to that movie theater, you were not expecting to see Boomerang. Okay, I'm gonna see Eddie Murphy, I'm gonna see Robin Givens, but dang, they're in a marketing building and everybody's Black, and all the directors of the marketing, all the CEO is Black, and when they go out, the people walking the dogs are Black, and when they go to this place, like the only time they encounter this other group of people is when the stereotypes coming up or racism. Like he kept it all the way. When the helicopter scene, when Strange comes out, if y'all go back and watch that movie, the whole crowd is cheering for him, all Black people. Only white people were the ones carrying Strange on her shoulder, on their shoulders. He was doing it like that, son. He was setting that he planted seeds in James and my head and Rishi's head, even not being Black. If you were young and you saw that movie, gentlemen, imagine the first movie, someone from out of this country. Imagine they don't see any TV from or any stereotypes of Black people from the United States, but the first thing they see is that movie about Black people. You don't think that's going to completely change? Go ahead, say it again, Richie.
Lean on Me and New Jack City were the first movies that I
Lean on Me
and New Jack City.
See, and that's why those are great movies. Yeah, but that's why Boomerang is so special to me, because
Boomerang was different. It was like more of he was a player, like he's doing his thing.
But it was classy, man. It was seeing Black, and it was still Black. That was the thing. People still acted Black, but within a classy situation. So it just showed everybody, man. Okay.
No, that was a class, man. I mean, you had Halle Berry in there.
You had Martin, David Allen Greer. Yeah. It was Eartha Kitt, all those other older actors, all that stuff. Yeah. We need movies like that now, man. Honestly, when was the last time you saw a dope Black? Daniel and I were talking about this the other day. When was the last time you saw a dope Black romantic comedy?
None of the good ones, man. I mean,
okay. What do we say? You
mentioned one too, Daniel. What was it?
The Photograph with Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield.
Okay. Is it a rom-com or is it just a kind of a romantic film?
I mean, it's been a while since I watched the movie, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Love and Basketball.
That was good. My Sugar was good.
The Best Man, bro. Yo,
The Best Man had too much drama though.
Yeah, but still, dude, they used to drop them like classic Black romantic comedies year after year after year, and I don't know why it went away. Because I think that's important for our culture, man. Just to be able to. Sometimes now all we got is the wretchedness. Now we got Housewives of Atlanta and hip hop.
Oh.
And you wonder why we act the way we do nowadays. Me and this gentleman grew up off of Boomerang. Unfortunately, y'all got Love and Hip Hop. But you know what? We're still Fire Optics. We're still gonna bring you that heat. So you just come back here next week with your Love and Hip Hop selves, and we'll holler at you.
You know what we're gonna do for y'all family? We're gonna give you a movie every week back in the day to go watch.
Oh, that's what's up.
Y'all can comment
That's
down
what's up.
after that week you watch it and let us know.
That's what's up. Just classics.
Can I say first lesson? First movie, just start off the bat, do the right thing. Kids watch it. Kids watch it, please.
The Right Thing was good. There's a lot of classes out here, man. We're gonna be all year giving y'all stuff to watch.
All right, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.
Peace, man.
Thank you guys. Later.
All right, y'all.